Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome Station, I'm Skyldeberg, and today we're doing an editorial talking about playable fables. These are the Copycat browser MMORPGs that you see a lot on our channel, and each time that we do a first impression, we're either incredibly sarcastic, or we rage quit halfway through, or we just hate every living moment of it, because even as a reviewer, okay, and probably as players yourselves, it's really irritating to play a game when the game is playing itself. There's a couple of points that define these kind of games, okay? That means, there's auto-pathing, just, through the whole game, essentially. Tons of flashing UI elements, okay? Just, VIP icons, it's constantly reminding you of the shop, stuff like that. Yeah, the whole buy now reminders. And then there's always, there's always wings. Why is there always wings? You can always get wings, and the wings help you move faster, or they give you bonuses and stuff, whatever. Basically, essentially, pay-to-win items. And, one core component to these games is that you level up really fast, and you get tons and tons of loot really quickly, okay? It's kind of eye-catching, it honestly is. There is a lot of just stuff being thrown at you, and it feels very rewarding at first. But then you're gonna hit a point, right? Maybe level 20, maybe level 10, maybe it's at the very end of the game, but before you can beat that final raid boss, you basically are forced to spend money. You are either forced to spend money or grind for 3 years just to level one level, and yeah, so you are going to hit what's called a paywall, basically. Not that you can't access the content, and sometimes, okay, actually sometimes there are content, you can't actually go to that content unless you spend money, but a lot of the times it's just so grindy that you have to spend money to actually go through with the final content. Yeah, so a lot of these are just autoplay games. They just autoplay. They have really cool artwork though, right? So even if the game is shit, one thing that these games do is that they always have really awesome artwork. Either in the stills, just looking at the background, looking at all the characters still. It's amazing artwork, really high fidelity stuff there. But what's really important about these games is that they use this fancy artwork for advertisements, for their banners, all their Facebook banners. And one thing that a lot of these games do is they actually just straight up rip. They will rip art from other games, or they'll take characters' designs from other games. League of Legends is really popular. I think League of Angels actually borrows a lot from League of Legends. And if that's not the exact case, then it's similar games doing that with other similar games. Wartune has been known to do it. They take from popular games like Smite, League of Legends, Dota, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was really big for ripping off. And, they even do this for animes. And there's even entire Copycat MMO where they just copy the entire Naruto or anime or whatever. They'll take the entire franchise of something and make a new game with it. And this, I'm pretty sure it's freaking illegal, but they get away with it for just long enough to where they get some money. These games are grinded out easily. You'll have one company that can make 3 of these games in a single month, So, yeah, we review these games because we want to show them off, give them a chance, okay? Because some of these companies, some of these games are actually really popular for certain reasons, and I will go into those reasons. But some of these games tend to be actually really polished, even if you don't agree if they are actually a game. Sometimes these companies don't even call it a game. They're called playable fables, which means they're entirely narrative, and basically you're just kind of watching a story or a fable in a game engine. Okay, sometimes there are decisions to be made, and sometimes really it's just all about grinding, just turning on the browser, turning on the game, and letting it do its own thing, which I have a problem with that. I think a video game, even if it's narrative, okay, a narrative video game would have choices, like the Walking Dead series or any Telltale games. Those are playable fables. Those are different. This is a totally unique situation where it's horrible story, normally very poorly translated. The games are obviously just shipped out. It's the exact same engines, the UI, the same mechanics, everything, but they'll just reskin it slightly, or they'll change one tiny mechanic, and they're dishing out so many games. And then you even have these multiple companies that apparently they're multiple companies, but then when you actually research their parent companies, or if you go to their website, you see that they actually share a lot of games in common, which shouldn't be the case. So what, are they multiple publishers of the same game? Really what I think is happening is that it's one company making all these games, and they kind of hide behind different names. So yeah, Definitely a lot of shady shit going on here, and I know you guys agree with that. But let's, real quick, before we continue just like shitting on this genre, let's actually talk about the genre in a positive light. Why do some of these games actually get really popular? Why do some of these people play these kind of games? So this genre, or these kind of games, are in a genre called idle games. Idle games don't have a lose condition, and they don't have a proper win condition. They go on forever. So you can never lose, you can never win, so how can they even be considered a game? Well, the truth is that there is a way to master a game without ever losing, without ever winning. So for instance, if you're playing a lemonade stand game, and this is what I played in college, actually, this was like awarded as a very interesting and novel concept. And as you can see, well, there is a lot of games very similar to this lemonade stand game, like Adventure Capitalist. That's essentially a reskinning of the lemonade stand game that I played. But basically, you have a lemonade stand, and you can't ever lose this lemonade stand, and you can't ever like finish or beat the game. You can only ever make more money. But see, that's the game. How to make the most amount of money, the most often, the most quickly. That's it. I mean, you set your own win condition. You set your own parameters, and you kind of just let the game play itself, and you, every once in a while, kind of make some decisions in order to kind of enhance the gameplay. Maybe, not enhancing the gameplay is not really proper, but, you know, trying to be more efficient with your gameplay that you can't exactly control. Just so it's kind of strategic in a way. Now, these playable fables are a little bit different because they kind of actually truly do play themselves. For the most part, you are force-fed different items and equipments and characters. You don't really have much decision or strategy or tactic whatsoever, and absolutely there is no mechanical differences. It's not like you're going around like an action RPG. Sometimes there are action RPGs from these companies, but they are just so easy that it literally doesn't even matter, okay? So that's basically it. So yeah, these are not action RPGs. They look like action RPGs at the first time you see them, maybe a trailer, maybe a banner. They're not. They autoplay themselves, and they're just copycat browser games. That's basically what they are. However, some people play them because there is that sort of idea, that concept, that maybe there's a little bit more to the game than meets the eye. Like, at first, it looks really cool. You get into the game, it's shit. But maybe if you keep playing, maybe if you spend some money, maybe this grind and maybe all this waiting is going to pay off. Or maybe you're just not grinding fast enough. Maybe you need to figure out how to grind better. Even though the game's playing itself, maybe you just need a different kind of equipment. Which, see, this is the thing. They limit you with the equipment that you can use, and so they make you think, oh, maybe I kind of really need to buy something, or else I'm just going to be sitting here watching this game play itself forever. Some people actually like playing this because it is a patience thing. Like, maybe they are working on some spreadsheets or something, and they'll just have this game playing in the sidebar, just, you know, playing itself, and they're just accruing points. And they feel like they get rewarded for that. They feel like they're being rewarded for their patience and their diligence, and it kind of, I don't know, like that's a thing. Like, people are okay with that. People are okay with autoplay games. Me? No, I'm not. I don't think it should be considered a game, and a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these companies don't consider them games. They say they're playable fables. I think that's some bull crap. But yeah, so why do these games have millions of players? Well, because a lot of these games have bots. I mean, that's just how it is. You know, a lot of these, forum posts, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, social media, any game or system that can be gamed will be gamed, okay? So Twitter has bots where people get followers, YouTube has that, you get bot subscribers, stuff like that, and games are going to do that too. You have bots playing the game from probably the developers. They hire out, they outsource it or whatever, and there's a bunch of bots playing it. But there are probably also lots and lots of players actually playing them, hundreds, maybe thousands players playing these games. And that's just because, you know, it's free to play. It's easy to try. So for one, you got people that are playing for a day and quitting for a day. Like, they just quit that same day, just like reviewers. You know, play it for 15 minutes, know it's shit, and then we get out. But then you have people that consistently play it, like I said, because they just kind of feel rewarded. Why is it addicting? It's because it actually kind of works with something very similar to gambling, okay? It kind of hits those same spots in your brain that it just triggers something, right? Like, maybe it's going to get better, maybe I'll be rewarded in some way, and they're feeling truly a false sense of satisfaction. It's really false. You aren't really earning anything. You're not. You're not. I mean, I'm telling you that. That's my opinion, so you can have your own opinion, but as somebody that critiques games and plays games and makes games, I really don't think autoplay is cool. Okay, so there's a couple of differences between complete autoplay and auto functions, right? So I had this conversation with somebody on Path of Exile's forums as well as League of Legends, okay? So League of Legends has an auto attack ability. That does not mean the game is automatically playing itself. It means there is a single automatic function, and you need to play around that. Now, there are some games that do have auto functions, like they have multiple characters that you control, but the characters kind of do their own thing, and you can only suggest what they should do or push them in certain areas. This is, what is this? Clash of Clans does this, right? Still, that is a very skillful game. It is even competitive, yet at the same time, it can probably be considered autoplay because once you send out your soldiers, they kind of control themselves. They do their own thing. However, the point of that game is to learn the AI, know what they probably will do, and then put them in positions to where they will do the most damage. So that's, as a player, you are working around the autoplay feature. Okay, there are some action RPGs that do also have automatic features, like Path of Exile. You can actually get items to where you automatically cast a spell whenever certain conditions are met. However, that is you strategically choosing to do that. These games that I'm talking about, these playable fables, don't really give you any choice of strategy, of tactic. Like, you really don't get anything. It's basically about if you have the better gear because you grinded the longest or you spent the most amount of money. That should not be rewarded. Time and money should not be rewarded. True skill, true creativity, that's what should be rewarded in games, okay? So, that's why I don't like playable fables. However, they do have a really high appeal for younger and also very older audiences who aren't used to gaming. So these are people who are coming into these games, they have no idea what they are expecting, and maybe they're getting a false sense of satisfaction because they never had true satisfaction of beating a game, okay? Like Dark Souls. If somebody, like Dark Souls, it feels so satisfying when you actually beat it because you earned it. And then this game, right, which has really no play factor. There's really no decisions making whatsoever. All the classes, generally, they look different, but they essentially are the same thing. Like, there really shouldn't be anything satisfying about it. But because they're throwing all these numbers at your faces, you know, you got 1,000,000 gold, whoa, you leveled up 3 times by beating this one trash mob, whoa, and you get all these, you know, pretty effects on the screen. It makes you feel good if you don't know better. And that's honestly what I think it is. It's people who simply just don't know better. And there's a lot of people in the world, and I imagine that a lot of these people, well, probably just don't play a lot of games, and then they happen to see this because the ads are freaking everywhere. Maybe they watch anime and they see an ad for an MMO, a Naruto game, so they go play it. Now, one thing that I don't like, and I really want to touch on this before I end this rant here, is that they limit your multiplayer, okay? These are considered MMOs. I don't think they technically should be called MMOs, but they are called MMOs. And the thing is that they'll be like, okay, you can play it with a party at level 4. Okay, you can do PvP at level 10. Okay, you can do endgame dungeons once you reach level 30, and then you can join a guild. Limiting that aspect really shows that they know what they're doing is shady as shit, okay? So, this happens a lot on mobile games, where they'll limit PvP and stuff. Where you have to play the game, you have to at least get to a dedicated point in the game. Basically, where they know that you are probably a whale, which is somebody that will spend a lot of money on a game that they're dedicated to. So once you get to that point, then they're like, okay, here is the multiplayer. But then you find out that the multiplayer is actually asynchronous, which was totally misleading. Like, asynchronous gameplay means that, okay, you think that it's going to be real-life PvP, you go into an arena, but it's actually a bot. It's an AI. You're fighting an AI. It's somebody else's character, their equipment and everything, but that doesn't really matter because what they equipped on that character is basically what everyone else has. So essentially, it's meaningless. There really is no PvP. It's just AI. That's asynchronous gameplay, and they hide that shit all the time. Same thing with the dungeons and the raids. A lot of the cases, it's just asynchronous multiplayer. And sometimes you do see other players playing on the map with you, but the truth is that the respawn rates on these monsters are so high, and there's really no cooperative play needed, necessary, or it's just meaningless, basically. So you see other players, but basically there's no point to it whatsoever. Also, you see a lot of pop-ups on these games. Right in the middle of the screen, it'll be like, whoa, this guy reached max level. Whoa, this guy crafted a legendary weapon. And you get bombarded with this, like, notifications of other people playing the game. But the truth is that you're not actually playing the game with other people. That's not necessary. Like, it's not necessary. Like Trove, Guild Wars 2, they have these open world quests, and it's really fun. And sometimes in Guild Wars 2, like, you need other players to come help you. And same thing with Trove. And like, it really feels cooperative, and you guys are earning stuff together, and you're working hard. Even if it is a grind, you're still actually working together. And this game, which not only just autoplays itself, but there is seriously no point in being in the vicinity of somebody else in these games. Like, they're called MMOs, they don't feel like MMOs in the least. In the least. Plus, their stories are always incredibly single-player or narrative-based. Now, Elder Scrolls Online is narrative-based, but it also works pretty well as a multiplayer game. It really does. These games are like, oh, you are the chosen one, and you are going to go help this main character, and you are the only one who can help. I mean, there's all these other chosen ones running around and everything, but no, you're the real chosen one. It's just like the stories don't make any sense. There's no like the art might be good, but there's no creativity with the art. There's no originality. None at all. Like, I don't see how they can be popular. I mean, I know how it's possible, but I just really wish, and I do believe in time, more people will become educated, and then they will see these obvious scams. Like, to me, it's an obvious scam. I would never willingly go play these games on my own, like, you know, and actually enjoy it. There are some games, though, that it sucks, too. They have such potential to be good. There is one beat-em-up game where you actually play it, and there's actually combos and fighting and everything, and it's almost good if it wasn't pay to win, if it actually had really good frame rate and everything. It has good art, but then there's no frame rate, like, at all. Like, you have a character, and then they have an attack frame, like a single fucking frame. You don't have 60 FPS gameplay, you don't have any FPS gameplay, really. It's just like single sprites, and then they move around. And a lot of the times, the sprites don't even load in, and it's just all awkward and shit, and I just don't understand, man. We have games like Castle Crashers, right? Castle Crashers is an amazing beat-em-up game. Even Dungeon Fighter Online, which looks dated now, is still a fantastic game that these people essentially make. Okay, they make a game comparable to Dungeon Fighter Online, and I was having fun with it in my first impressions. I even actually recommended it. But when I did a second review on it and I actually got into the game, I realized, oh, I fell for a trap. For 5 minutes, I fell in for the trap. But now that I've seen deeper and actually got into the game, there's essentially no multiplayer, there's no true combos. It's just you press a button and it does auto combo, basically. And like, they were so close to actually making a real game that it just frustrates me. And a lot of these games actually could potentially be really good. Like, if you just took off the autoplay, it would actually be a real game. Like, just take off the fucking autoplay feature, and then you're one step closer to making a real game. And that's the most frustrating part as a reviewer, because you see the art, you see some of these concepts, like, they seem kind of interesting. Oh wow, that's, you know, it's a pretty cool idea. Sure wish I could actually play through this concept, this mechanic, other than the game playing through itself. Whatever, okay. Like, it sucks. It really sucks. So how do you guys feel about these copycat or playable Fable MMOs, right? Like, I know we see a bunch of games that come up, it's like, new Naruto MMO, and then you'll see another one, new Naruto MMO, and then you'll see another one like the Ninja Way or whatever, Ninja Path of Ninja, but it's literally Naruto. You see the Naruto characters, but they'll be called like Narito, and they'll just like change the names a little bit. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Copyright, come on, man. Anyways, what do you guys think about these games? You know what these games are. 16 minutes talking about this, you know what these games are. Why? Why? And also, what the fuck is up with all the sexy girls? Never mind, you guys know what that is. You guys know, I mean, we know. We know why they always do this sexy, like, adults only, and boobies, like, flopping out everywhere. We know why that's there. But it's just, that's a thing. You know, Facebook ads, banners, and see, okay, actually, before I end this, guys, I want to tell you something. It's a secret, though. It's not really a secret. Whenever you, like, even if you don't spend any money on these games, this is where they get you. You see this really cool Facebook banner for these kind of games, you click on it, and even I'm guilty of this, right? I'm guilty of this because sometimes I don't realize it's from that company, or it still looks good to me, it looks like a cool game, and I'm like, okay, let's click on it. I have no impression of this game yet. So I click on it, and then I sign up with Facebook or sign up with Google+. They have all these social media ways to sign in, or you give them their email because you need to make an account because it's an MMO, it's online, you need an account. And this is where they get you, because boom, right there, just by clicking on their website, first one, they get money for their advertisements on their websites, and then secondly, they get a lot of money from the private info of your social media accounts. They got your info, now they know how to better advertise, and boom, they got you. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Copycat browser MMOs that play, why are they cool? Because they're kind of a branch of idle games, but they're a lot more gambly, they're a lot cheaper, they're a lot shittier, and at the same time, they're trying to boast themselves as full AAA games on their banners. And so, yeah, they're really shady, but people who don't know better are gonna click on them and log in, and already, even before wasting money on it, they've basically hurt themselves a little bit, and we're kind of hurting the economy, the whole market, you know, with these advertisements and promoting these games. I honestly think they should be illegal. Like, I like, all these games, unless you can actually, like, if there's autoplay in a game, like, I feel that it should be illegal. It feels almost like gambling. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm done with the rant. That's me talking at your faces. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Skyldeberg with FreeMMOStation, and we will give you the news, and we will give you the reviews on these free MMOs and the state of the whole, everything of free MMOs. And these are a lot of, these are the majority of the free MMOs out there too, which really sucks, guys, especially if you go on mobile. Mobile MMOs are 99% of them are trash, and I'm gonna say that right now, and I freaking love mobile games. I'm telling you right now, a lot of these are really trash. Like, okay, compare Game of War to Clash of Clans. Yeah, Clash of Clans is a real game. Game of War, no. So, that's just my opinion. But one thing that you can do is stop clicking on these games, and also comment below what you think about it. We will continue to probably cover these games. It's not always obvious whenever these type of games come about. We still got to review them because we're gonna waste the time to show them off. But hopefully what you guys can do is when we show them off and say don't play them, that you don't actually play them. That'd be pretty nice. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.